ओके, गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीवन। कैसे हैं आप सब? सो एज वी नो वी हैव स्टार्टेड अ न्यू सीरीज नोन बाय द नेम ऑफ आधारशिला. ओके, so in Aadharshila we will be covering too many topics that are frequently asked by the UPSC. So I am taking a series for Aadharshila known by the name of International and Regional Organizations. So I will be covering all of the international organizations, all of the important regional organizations. See, UPSC has been asking questions on these organizations in the past year papers. We have a question on G20 membership. We have a question on SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Then there was a question on Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. So these were the questions that were frequently asked by the UPSC. So in this series, we will try to cover all these important bodies in respect of the UPSC prelims. We will not be discussing about the UPSC mains perspective. We will be dealing only the type of questions and the content that has been asked in UPSC prelims. So we will be discussing all of the UN organs and specialized agencies like WHO and these kind of bodies. Then we will be studying topics like there have been bodies. ASEAN is there, then we have SAARC is there, BRICS is there, BIMSTEC is there, SCO is there. So basically the basic funda is like we will be dealing with all of these bodies. So कोई further delay ना करते हुए we should come to our main topic, that is international or and regional organizations. So moving on to the next slide, we have our first body as UN, United Nations. See, United Nations का जो concept है, in this lecture we will be dealing with three bodies. I should say UN, UNGA and UN Security Council. So we will be dealing with United Nations, United Nations General Assembly and United Nations Security Council. Okay, so first of all let's talk about United Nation. ठीक है, यूनाइटेड नेशन का मतलब क्या है? इट इज एन इंटर गवर्नमेंटल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जिसके पर्पस इज ना फिक्स्ड है. इट टॉक्स अबाउट द पर्पस ऑफ द यूनाइटेड नेशंस फॉर विच इट वाज एस्टेब्लिश्ड. सी, आफ्टर वर्ल्ड वॉर वन देयर वाज अ ट्रीटी ऑफ वर्साइल, जिसकी वजह से देयर वाज द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ लीग ऑफ नेशंस. अच्छा, लीग ऑफ नेशंस का जो मोटिव था, इट वाज एस्टेब्लिश्ड सो दैट अ पीसफुल वर्ल्ड कैन बी एस्टेब्लिश्ड, अ पीसफुल सोसाइटी कैन बी एस्टेब्लिश्ड. तो उनका मतलब था कि लीग ऑफ नेशंस के बनने के बाद वी शुड नॉट हैव अ वर्ल्ड वॉर लाइक सिचुएशन. बट एज वी नो आफ्टर फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर देयर वाज द हैपनिंग ऑफ सेकंड वर्ल्ड वॉर, और वी could clearly see the failure of the League of Nations. So after this we thought of a like inclusive body in the form of United Nations, so that these kind of problems can be halted in the future. These kind of problems should not like humankind should face. So it was basic mandate of the United Nations. If we talk about the United Nations, हमने बोला it is an intergovernmental organization whose purposes are to maintain international peace and security. We just talked कि यही तो mandate था United Nations का कि वर्ल्ड वॉर लाइक कोई सिचुएशन ना हो. if there are like two countries that are at war currently, there is an example of Russia and Ukraine. So these kind of situations can be should not happen. So second important point is develop friendly relations among nations. As we know, these points are interrelated. Then the third point is achieve international cooperation. See, this point is most important, to achieve international cooperation. See, the humankind has been facing too many problems. We have a problem of climate change, we have a problem of hunger, then there is communalism, then there is regionalism, then there are terrorist issues. So these needs to be dealt in a collective manner. So you in the form of United Nations, we have been achieving an international cooperation on these issues. We have WHO working in the field of health. We have UNICEF working for the children's welfare. We have UNESCO covering cultural sites and architectural places. So these are basically required to achieve an international cooperation and to solve these kind of issues. The fourth point is be a center for harmonizing the actions of nations. See, it acts as a platform. It acts as a platform where the actions of the countries actions of the countries can be directed. Like there should be a directed action towards an issue. We have already read about the unity is strength. Ki like all the countries should act in a particular manner. Like one country is doing action A, second country is doing action B. So the action A and B should be directed in a similar manner. If they would be opposite, then we can clearly see it is a waste of the effort. So what UN does is it streamlines the actions of the countries. Streamlines the action of countries. इसका बहुत इसका beautiful example is there has been a debate about the funding in the Paris Agreement. See, developed countries are shying away from taking the responsibility of the historical climate change, and what developing countries are wanting, like the developed countries should take the responsibility. They should give the required funds, so that the newer climate technologies can be developed, and developing countries need to use them. So this is the debate, like historical developed countries not accepting their responsibility, and developing countries want to have some kind of funds to like fund the fight against the climate change. So this is the basic issue where the UN has been working for the climate change. Okay. Now the next line is its predecessor, the League of Nations, was created by the Treaty of Versailles in 1919 and disbanded eventually in 1946. This we have already discussed. हमने डिस्कस किया ना earlier. It was League of Nations, that it was converted into the United Nations because it could not prevent the happening of the Second World War. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Then we have the conception of United Nations. This we have already read. The World War II was about to end in 1945. Nations were in ruins and World War wanted peace. Obviously, we have discussed it. Discuss हो चुका है. Representatives of 50 countries gathered at the United Nations Conference International Organization in San Francisco. From here we got the San Francisco Charter. San Francisco Charter, which was the foundational document for the United Nations, and it was dated 25th April to 26th June 1945. So it is the year on which the United Nations was founded. Okay. So for the next 2 months, they proceeded to draft and sign the UN Charter, which created a new international organization, the United Nations, which it was hoped would prevent another world war like the one they had just lived through. This we have already discussed. The mandate of the UN was to prevent a war-like situation. But as we see, if we go from the main perspective, has UN ever been able to do its mandate? Like there was a Cold War situation. There is a war between Russia and Ukraine. There have been too many problems faced by the countries in Africa. Somalia issue is there. So you should think like, is UN being able to do its work effectively, and or what changes we can bring to streamline the functioning of the United Nations. Okay. So it is basically the concept of the mains exam, but as we are discussing about the prelims exam, so we don't need to go into this kind of discussion, but you should think on your end. Let's move on to the next slide. So we have talked about the United Nations Charter. Is a treaty that established United Nations. We have already discussed. Ratification कब हुआ इसका? 24th October 1945. So it was the date. It was the date on which UN was founded. UN was founded. Then we have the following series of events led to the writing of the Charter and the UN's founding. See, UN Charter was the final outcome document, but before it there were too many charters that were signed. Too many charters that talked about the nitty-gritties of the United Nations. So you don't need to remember them, just look at these names, like Declaration of St. James Palace, then we have Atlantic Charter, Declaration by United Nations 1942, then we have Moscow Declaration 1943, then we have Tehran Conference, then we have Dumbarton Oaks and Yalta Conference, then we have San Francisco. This was the final one. So you just need to look at the names and see whether they are related to the United Nations or not. Don't need to remember their mandate or what happened at these charters. Just look at these names. Okay. Let's move on to the next slide. Then we have main organs established by the Charter of the United Nations. See, there are 6 organs that are of the United Nations system. The first is General Assembly. We are going to discuss in this lecture. then we have Security Council, then we have Economic and Social Council, then we have Trusteeship Council, then we have Secretariat, and then we have International Court of Justice. See, UN system is composed of, there are 6 principal organs, and then we have a specialized agency. See, specialized agency are created for a specialized function, like WHO, and the specialized function of WHO is what? Health. So WHO focuses on the health aspect. What is the primary function of the UNESCO? The specialized function of the UNESCO to talk about the cultural places. So these are specialized agency which has been created for that specialized function, and 6 principal organs are there for United Nations. We have already talked about it. Is first is UNGA, second is UN Security Council, third is UN Economic and Social Council, then we have Trusteeship Council, then we have Secretariat, and the 5th one is ICJ, 6th one is International Court of Justice. Is it clear? So let's move on to the next slide. We have UN General Assembly, or we have talked about it is the first organ of the United Nations. See, UNGA is like United Nations General Assembly. Every representative of the country is being present in the United Nations General Assembly. So if there are suppose 193 countries, 193 members, so all representatives will be present at the UNGA assembly. सबके सब representatives would be there in the working of the assembly. See, UNGA is like the Parliament of India. In Parliament we have the representatives from all the states, from all the constituencies. Similarly, in the United Nations we have representatives from all the countries of the world. So the basic mandate of the UN General Assembly is, the mandate of UNGA is to discuss, to debate and make recommendations on subjects pertaining to, क्या क्या सब्जेक्ट्स है? इंटरनेशनल पीस एंड सिक्योरिटी, ये तो फंक्शन है ही है प्राइमरी यूनाइटेड नेशंस का. फिर है डेवलपमेंट, डिसआर्मामेंट, ह्यूमन राइट्स, इंटरनेशनल लॉ एंड द पीसफुल आर्बिट्रेशन ऑफ डिस्प्यूट्स बिटवीन नेशंस. सो दीज आर बेसिकली द functions of the United Nations General Assembly. You must have seen the debates in the news, like in UNGA, India and Pakistan trying to discuss over the Kashmir issue. So this is the functioning of the United Nations General Assembly. All right, so let's move on to the next point. Functions of General Assembly. Earlier it was the mandate, now it is the function of General Assembly. It considers reports from other organs of the United Nations. Other organs are Trusteeship Council, then we have Economic and Social Council, then we have International Court of Justice, then we have UN Security Council. Is it clear? So इनके report check करेगा, then we have financial situation को assess करेगा member states की, and approve the UN budget. This is the most important function. सबसे important function of United Nations General Assembly is like passing the budget. What Parliament do is Parliament pass the budget for the country for a particular financial year. Similarly, UN General Assembly passes the UN budget, the budget required for each of its agencies to work. What kind of funds we should provide to a country in Africa, what fund should we provide it to a country in Asia. So these are being discussed by the UN General Assembly. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Now we have sessions of UNGA. Parliament के कितने session होते हैं year में? 3. Similarly, there are sessions of UNGA which has been divided into 3 types. First one is regular session, second is special session, and third is emergency special session. See, regular session कब होगा? Parliament का regular session 3 होता है. Budget, winter, monsoon session. Similarly, the annual session of the United Nations General Assembly is from annually September to December. कितना महीना हो गया? Third week of September it usually starts. September, October, November, December. So almost it goes for around 3.5 months. This is the regular working of the United Nations General Assembly. Then we have special session. See, इसके provisions थोड़े important है. Just look at this. At the request of the UNSC. And UNSC की अगर हम लोग बात करें, UN Security Council, we know there are 5 permanent members of the UNSC. And you should be knowing which countries are the 5 permanent members of the United Nations Security Council. So UNSC placed a request like we need to have a special session, like there is some kind of issue which needs to be dealt in a immediate manner. So in this way request would be placed by the UNSC to UNGA. और ये कब होगा? इफ देयर इज अ मेजोरिटी ऑफ मेंबर स्टेट, सपोज 190 कंट्रीज आर देयर, तो इसका मेजोरिटी कितना होगा? 95. सो एटलीस्ट 96 कंट्रीज शुड से कि हाँ भैया वी नीड अ स्पेशल सेशन, और देयर इज अ like emergency topic which needs to be dealt in a earliest manner. All right, so if there is a majority of member states, or the third point is one member state if the majority of the members concur. इसका मतलब समझना, see there is a pressing issue that need to be dealt in a special session. So let us take an example of a country, Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo. So Democratic Republic of Congo placed a resolution to the United Nations General Assembly. Congo said ki sir we need a special session to deal this kind of emergency. Now on this, if the majority of the members of UNGA concur, they agree, हाँ भैया Congo you are right, we will have a special session, but we need to have a majority over this, and the majority is 96. So in this case we will have a special session. All right, now we have emergency special session whose all the provisions are same, just there is a single difference, like it is called within 24 hours of a request. What is the difference between a special session and a emergency special session? See, the duration of the special session can be more than 24 hours. It can be called like after a period of 24 hours. But if we need a special session within a period of 24 hours, then it is known by the name of emergency special session. Rest of the provisions are same. You don't need to go into the peculiarities of the sessions. You just need to know what is a special session, what is a regular session, and what is an emergency special session. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Assembly actions. Decision on important questions such as those on peace and security. Then we have UN budget already discussed. Admission, suspension and expulsion of members, ठीक है, to various organs of UN require special majority. ठीक है, in cases में special majority would be there. And what is special majority? 2/3 of members present and voting. 2/3 of members present and voting. Polity का concept है 2/3 of members present and voting. So if there are 180 members, तो इसका 2/3 कितना होगा? 2/3 of 180 is कितना हो गया? 120. So 120 members का concurrence is required to have a special majority. Is it clear? Okay. So in cases में we need to have a special majority. Second point is it can make recommendations on any matter within the scope of the United Nations except matters of peace and security that are under consideration by the UNSC. See, if Russia and Ukraine issue is being dealt by the United Nations Security Council, so this matter cannot be discussed by the UNGA. Rest of the matters can be discussed. So in short, if the matter is being dealt by the United Nations Security Council, then UNGA has no mandate to go into that issue. Is it clear? Okay. Next we have, in 1948, it promulgated the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which contained 30 articles containing global standards for human rights. ठीक है? See, this is important. 1948 Universal Declaration of Human Rights was there, in which there were 30 articles which resemble to the fundamental rights and DPSPs. In 2020 prelims, I guess UPSC directly asked a question on Universal Declaration of Human Rights, whether it contained fundamental rights, whether it contained fundamental duty or DPSP. ठीक है, we will discuss these 30 articles in some video. In this series, we will discuss all of the 30 articles. Clear है? Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Assembly actions, थोड़े बहुत recent actions की बात करते हैं जो previously UNGA ने important ones. वैसे तो UNGA के बहुत सारे actions है, but we are talking about the important ones only. So in 1950 it initiated Uniting for Peace resolution which states that if UNSC fails, अगर UNSC अपना mandate सही से नहीं कर रही है, तो in that case it will be the primary responsibility for UNGA to maintain international peace and security. Not much important, just read this, not much important, just read about this. Okay, in 2000 it set forth MDGs, we know millennial development goals, which have been converted to sustainable development goals in 2015. So 17 sustainable development goals are there, and for you students there is a task, you need to remember all 17 SDGs, because UPSC does not ask them directly, but state PCS examinations directly ask them, like what is SDG number 10, what is SDG number 8, or it can make a matching question where you need to match the SDG with the correct number. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. We have UN budget. So UN budget is basically, one is tied and one is voluntary. In a tied budget, UNGA decides the amount that a particular country needs to donate to the UN cause. So it is being decided by the UN and its Secretariat and General Assembly. But the voluntary contribution is decided by the country itself. Decided by the country. There is no obligation on the country to pay this particular amount. If I am comfortable with a single rupee, I will donate. If I am comfortable with amount of 100 crore rupees, then I will also donate. So it purely depends on the amount of fund I am comfortable with. Okay, so it is basically talking about this concept. We have discussed the size of each state's compulsory contribution depends mainly on its economic strength through its state of development, debt situation. So we have discussed. Member countries can also make voluntary contribution. This we have also discussed. कहाँ दे सकते हैं? WHO को दे सकते हैं, यूनेस्को को दे सकते हैं, UN program, food program is there, population fund program is there, so they can directly contribute to these causes. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Resolution in UNGA can be adapted in two manners. See, resolution का there is a process. Suppose there is a member A. He put his proposal to UNGA, like we need to have some resolution on a climate change issue. ठीक है? Now UNGA can discuss on this issue in two manners. First is consensus and second is voting. So there will be two methods in which this can be passed, or I should say this proposal can be made a resolution. There are two methodologies. First is consensus and second is voting. Okay, so basically you need to understand the difference between these two. First is consensus and second is voting. I am taking a simple numerical example to help you understand कि what is the difference between the consensus and the voting. See, यहाँ पे हमारे पास consensus है. This side there is consensus and here it is voting. Suppose there are only like 10 members, only 10 members in UNGA. I have taken a smaller number to help you understand what is the basic difference between the consensus and the voting. Now, if all the 10 members agree, कि हाँ यार the proposal by the member A is correct and we should support this and we can have this proposal amended to resolution. So all the 10 countries say yes, like we are agree with this situation. So I will say all the 10 countries are in a consensus. All the 10 countries are in a consensus. Is it clear? All of them directly said yes, like we don't need any vote. We are just putting our yes to the proposal raised by the member A. But if I go to the voting, there are 10 members. In this case, the voting majority would be 10 by 2 plus 1, यानी 6 members का majority अपने को चाहिए. That is simple majority. So this process is known as voting. Now in this case, we need to have at least consent of 6 members to have this proposal converted into resolution by the process of voting. Clear हुआ इतना? So voting में ये भी difference है कि 4 member ने अगर इसके साथ कंकर नहीं किया, स्टिल द प्रपोजल वुड बी कन्वर्टेड इनटू रेजोल्यूशन. बट कंसेंसस में देयर इज अ डिफरेंस. Even if the single member stays away from the proposal or say I don't agree with the aspects of the proposal, then this proposal will not be converted into resolution. समझ आया? WTO proceedings, World Trade Organization proceedings on the working of the consensus. That is why there have been too many meetings and the final conclusion on subsidies cannot be made in WTO. All right. Okay. Let's move on to the next slide. We have already discussed the difference between consensus and voting. एक बार पढ़ लेते हैं. All member states have agreed, अभी बात किया, to adopt the text of a draft resolution without taking a vote. We just discussed in consensus there is no voting. Consensus will not be reached even if one member state requests a vote. But we have discussed कि एक भी member ने अगर concurrence नहीं दिया तो consensus pass नहीं होगा और हाई कोर्ट से proposal resolution में convert नहीं होगा. Then we have voting. It needs to get a simple majority, just discussed. Everything is being discussed, you just need to look on the slide, students. ठीक है, to agree on the text of a resolution. Those countries that did not vote in favor of a resolution on a particular agenda item will be less likely to implement the actions on an agenda item that are recommended in resolution. We just talked about, if a country is not voted in favor of the resolution, why would he implement? All right. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Discussion on appointment of Secretary General. See, in 2022, we have our Secretary General as Antonio Guterres. Antonio, who was selected in 2022. He was basically the 9th Secretary General. So we are going to talk a little about the process of appointment of the Secretary General. See, for Secretary General, his name is being recommended. See, recommended word. Recommended by the UNSC. And after this recommendation, UNGA will vote. UNGA will vote whether we need this Secretary General or not. See the process. First, the name of the person will be recommended by the UN Security Council. Then this name will be voted upon in the United Nations General Assembly, like whether this person is eligible to be a Secretary General or not. So this recommendation by the UNSC is also being required a majority of 15 members में से 9 का वोट अपने को चाहिए. अभी हम लोग UNSC will discuss, उसमें we will see there are 15 members for the United Nations Security Council. 5 members are permanent and 10 members are non-permanent. So in that we will see how many members majority constitute a majority in the UN Security Council. So इस case में recommendation require at least 9 votes out of 15. 9 by 15 we require for the recommendation purpose. For the recommendation purpose. इतना clear है कि अगर UNSC के 9 members will concur कि हाँ we are going to recommend this person to be the Secretary General, then this will require 9 votes out of 15 votes to get recommended. Is it clear? Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Now we have our third topic for the day, UN Security Council. ठीक है, UN Security Council का basic देखते हैं. Founded in 1945, basic है. UPSC is not going to ask. Headquarter New York. India is a non-permanent member. अभी इंडिया की मेंबरशिप इट वाज नॉन परमानेंट मेंबरशिप एंडेड ऑन दिसंबर 2022. आई थिंक यू नीड टू लर्न की हाउ मेनी टाइम्स, देयर इज अ क्वेश्चन फॉर यू, हाउ मेनी टाइम्स इंडिया वाज अ नॉन परमानेंट मेंबर. इंडिया वाज अ नॉन परमानेंट मेंबर. आई एम आस्किंग अबाउट द नंबर ऑफ टाइम्स नॉन परमानेंट मेंबर. क्लियर है इतना? ओके, सो the third point is UNSC has the primary responsibility for the maintenance of international peace and security. हमने अभी just we talked कि how UNGA functions, how United Nations Security Council functions. See, UNSC's primary responsibility is the maintenance of international peace and security, and you need to think whether it has been able to like deliver its mandate in a effective manner or not. अगर UNSC अच्छे से वर्क कर रहा होता So we would not have war-like situation in Russia and Ukraine. We would not have the issues that are being there in Israel and Palestine. So these are the areas in which UNSC could not deliver effectively. So you need to have a deliberation on this front. So the council has 15 members already discussed. 5 members are permanent, 5 are permanent and 10 are non-permanent. The permanent members are P5, US, UK, France, Russia and who is the 5th member? China. ठीक है. Non-permanent members are there 10 who are like selected for a 2-year interval. Every non-permanent member is elected for a 2-year term and this is rotated every 5 years. So the rotation of the 10 non-permanent members take place after every 5 years. All right. 2 साल का period है तो 5 साल बाद 10 के 10 members will change. Basic concept है. Now the second point is the Security Council is the only UN organ. We have talked about 6 UN principal UN organs. इसके पास power है to make the binding decisions on the member states. Binding decision it can make if UNSC decides like every country needs to have this discussion and debate, then every country need to do the needful according to the mandate of the UN Security Council. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. We have voting system in UNSC. भाई वेरी रिजिड है, एक पर्सन का एक वोट होगा, परमानेंट मेंबर्स के पास क्या होगा? राइट टू वीटो. सपोज देयर इज अ प्रपोजल ए, एग्जांपल लेके चलते हैं. प्रपोजल ए पुट बाय कंट्री इंडिया, सपोज करते हैं इंडिया ने पुट किया यूएनएससी के सामने. नाउ यूएनएससी के 5 परमानेंट मेंबर आर देयर जिनके पास क्या है? राइट टू वीटो है. नाउ सपोज यूएन, यूके, फ्रांस और रशिया दे सेड यस कि हाँ भैया ये प्रपोजल इज करेक्ट एंड वी शुड गेट इट इम्प्लीमेंटेड. बट देयर इज अ 5th कंट्री नोन बाय द नेम ऑफ चाइना जिसने कर दिया अपना वीटो पावर का यूज कि नहीं दिस प्रपोजल विल नॉट बी इम्प्लीमेंटेड. सो इवन इफ अ सिंगल कंट्री vetoes a proposal then it will not be implemented or I should say this stands cancelled. ये कैंसिल हो गया. क्यों? क्योंकि a single country used its veto power. This is the biggest issue. Like whenever we put a proposal in the United Nations Security Council, China most of the time put its power of veto to cancel the India's proposal. India's like terrorism issue has been there, in which India has been putting the name of a person to be a global terrorist, but China every time use its veto power to go against that proposal. Okay, let's move on to the next point. Decisions on procedural matters and substantive matters. See, इसके बारे में discussion is important. Procedural matters and substantive matters. ठीक है, इसके बारे में थोड़ा बात करते हैं. See, procedural matters are basically those which are not related to international peace and security. In the definition of UNSC, ये वो matters हैं जो peace and security से related नहीं है. But substantive matters are those that are related to peace and security. So in procedural matters, we need to have a only simple majority of UNSC. Simple majority का मतलब क्या हुआ? We need to have at least 9 votes in favor out of कितना members है? 15. This is procedural matter पे जो voting होगा. This is the basic principle of that. But in case of substantive matters, we need to have, ये तो majority अपने को चाहिए 9 out of 15 और 5 परमानेंट मेंबर्स जो हैं P5, 5 परमानेंट मेंबर्स का भी अपने को क्या चाहिए? यस चाहिए कि नो वन शुड यूज इट्स राइट टू वीटो अगेंस्ट दैट मैटर. इज इट क्लियर? तो सब्सटेंशियल और प्रोसीजरल में क्या फर्क है? प्रोसीजरल में ओनली मेजोरिटी वुड बी ऑफ 9 आउट ऑफ 15. इसमें हम लोग वीटो वाला यूज नहीं करेंगे. बट इन सब्सटेंसिव मैटर वी नीड टू हैव एटलीस्ट अ मेजोरिटी ऑफ 9 आउट ऑफ 15. then every permanent country P5 should concur to that proposal. Okay, so let's move on to the next point. We have UN Economic and Social Council. This is simple. Not much to read in this, but we will talk about the mandate of the UN body. It is the UN central platform for reflection, debate and innovative thinking on sustainable development. Sustainable development मतलब climate change के issue को we will discuss, environment we will discuss, hunger we will discuss. So everything related to sustainable development goals will be discussed on this platform. ठीक है, basically it coordinates the activities of UN and other organizations working on social and economic issues. ठीक है, social economic issue पे क्या क्या है? We have UNICEF, we have WHO, we have UNESCO, we have UN World Population Fund, UNFPA. So basically it coordinates the activities of all these platform. ये कहाँ से coordinate होंगी? UN Economic and Social Council. Is it clear? Simple mandate है कि बाकी जो organizations हैं उनके actions को क्या करेगा? ये coordinate करेगा. ठीक है, तो 50 more members are there. Seats in the council are allocated based on geographical representation. Not much important. Okay, so basically we have discussed in this presentation, we have discussed the United Nations, then we have discussed the working of United Nations General Assembly, then we have discussed United Nations Security Council, then UN Economic and Social Council. So basically in next slide we will talk about the other organs of the United Nations. For today let's conclude it to here. Thank you.